Jeez Louise. What's going on, everybody? Manny B Investing MBI stream. We're taking a look at what is going on still, day 2 of the CSWAP drama. Taking a look here, nothing crazy. Swap, CSWAP. Trending. Let's see all posts. This token is a scam. No building, no working decks. Interesting. Let's see. Unread messages. This was at 6. Let's take a look at, get this link shared here. Then we'll start looking. That. Hit that like. That's one thing I just need to do more of. Asking you guys to hit the like button. I don't think I've ever done that before. I'm such a noob, right? Tweet is out. All right, let me hit the pause there. Boom. All right, token is a scam. No building, no working decks. Looks like 0 volume. I heard that you couldn't even trade this now. This is great news. I'm guessing that SundaySwap is working behind the scenes, completing the merger. Interesting. I am so happy this is happening. Everybody who bet on SundaySwap and their partners deserves this. What? Okay. This project's been rugged. Rugged. We've all been tricked. Not looking particularly good. LOL. Be careful. This token can't be sell. Rocket. How can I buy CardSwap? Have CSWAP holders been swindled? Rugged. So, I watched a video today and I wanted to kind of go through that video. It's the AMA lost money. I'm sorry to hear that. Looks like a lot of people lost money today in general, but CSWAP people seem to be in limbo right now. So I'm going to take a look. I'm going to find this video that I was watching. It's a link to the AMA. We're going to check it out. Take a look at my history here. Find it. Dun, dun, dun. History. See all. There it is.
This earlier.
Boom. So this is the video. I saw a lot of red flags. Pull out my LP and half of the
Ash,
my CardSwap. Dude, I'm with you. I saw the red flags in the beginning and I never even put my money in it. And this was before, like, somebody responded to me actually. Let me find that tweet. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Let me just do another tab. Go on Twitter. But I want to go through this video, this AMA video, because I didn't get to check this one out before I went live the first time, and it's got a lot of good information in it. A lot of people were in my comments on Twitter, and they were acting like this was some kind of explosive new evidence that was going to prove everything that they were saying. But honestly, I watched it and it made my opinion even worse, because the AMA was just filled with a bunch of just red flags, and no one asked about it. No one even had a question about any of the weirdness or the lack of information that was provided in that stream. And it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, dude, why didn't anybody ask or challenge them? So let me see if I can find that tweet here. My mentions. Let's just throw it up here. All right. This one was a good one. So Sunday Swap came out. So maybe we should. You have good coverage skills. Thank you. Let's look at the Sunday. Let's look at the Sunday tweets, right? Let's start there. So that was the big thing. Everybody was waiting for Sunday to talk about what happened. All right. Here it is right here. In light of recent events, we'd like to share two important details. First, we have not been contacted by Cardstarter since January 19th. Second, we remain available to help the Cardstarter address the concerns of their investors and integrate their liquidity with the Sunday Swap DEX. So, I mean, that looks like what you need, right? That looks like what you want Sunday Swap to say. You want them to legitimize what's happening. We were thinking of the riches we can make. We chose to exactly. And all I said on my last stream was that exact sentiment. And people freaked out on me and got upset and started saying that I was victim blaming. You're not a victim. I said, no one held a gun to your head and told you to buy Cardstarter. No one told you to get into bed with them. No one told you to dive deeper into bed with them when they started making promises to you, regardless of if those promises are legitimate or not. You aren't forced to do any of this. And there were people saying that they put money in and then put more in down the road. It's like, what? Why would you do that? So I thought that was really weird. So, yeah, and it says, we hope that CS team is able to address their investors' concerns in the near future. Finally, just to correct any speculation, Sunday Swap and Cardstarter entered into a marketing and collaboration agreement in June 2021. This was not in any sense a merger of the two entities, as explained in our own announcement about the agreement. And this one looks like it has a lot of comments. So let's look at this one. All right. Care to comment on this quote from the July 2nd call your team was on? Let's
Yes, it's a merger, but it's not just a merger that defeats. Yes, it's a merger, but it's not just a merger that defeats competition within the ADA decentralized exchange space. Yes, it's a merger, but it's not just a merger that.
So I thought that was weird too. The word merger was used, and then there was a point in the video, and I actually tweeted it. There was a point in the video where they said this was a merger, and then the next person was like, this is not a merger, and then the next person was saying it's a merger, and then another person said it was a merger. So it was like, that was confusing and also a red flag. They call that a red flag. That's what that is. So I don't know why so many people were upset. That just doesn't really, I mean, none of it really makes sense to me as far as like why people were freaking out. Let me blow that up. All right. The Cardstarter Telegram is crazy right now. Yeah, that's a whole different subject. Oh, yeah, just so much going on. All right. Sounds like you guys had NDAs in place. Are you sure it wasn't a merger? This CSWAP guy could be misrepresenting your agreement. If so, you or your team didn't do or say anything to the contrary during the call. I thought the same exact thing. MT from Sunday was on that same AMA and he didn't deny that the two entities had merged. I thought that was really weird because he did announce himself as the CEO of Sunday Swap, and he was sitting on the call and they kept saying the word merger, and then someone said that it wasn't a merger, and then people again kept saying the word merger. So it was like I was confused at what it was. And the only time I noticed, and this is weird, the only time I noticed people kind of straightened up was right before Damien got on the call from Charlie. It was almost like they were expecting him to start checking people, and we'll cover that, I'm sure. We'll just go through the whole video and I'll just do commentary on it. How do we get back our ADA? How do we get our ADA back from this swap? I swapped ADA for Sunday to that doesn't have anything to do with. Where does the NDA come from so the SEC doesn't come down on you for a marketing agreement? You guys are telling lies now. Enjoy the slammer. Oh man. I keep seeing this. And this doesn't really tell me anything. Gonna be more rug pulls in Cardano ecosystem in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of decentralized tech, right? It's very hard to force anyone to behave, right? Because that's the whole thing of decentralization. So decentralized technology is not going to be a place where naive people want to be. But unfortunately, no one can make a law against naive people. So they're going to be here. They're going to get taken advantage of. And I am not accusing Cardstarter of taking advantage of anything or doing anything wrong. I'm waiting for them to release a statement. I think that it's extremely shady that they haven't jumped out ahead of this and said anything. They're kind of just biding their time as far as, because I've been paying attention to the Telegram group. They've just been kind of basically leading people on while it just is burning down in flames in that Telegram group. And I don't understand why any person with a brain would allow that to happen to their project, regardless of what is actually going on, because I don't know what's going on. Just like any other project or ecosystem. Exactly. I mean, look at Ethereum and Binance. Oh my God. There's like a major rug pull like multiple times a week on Binance, and nobody is in uproar and threatening CZ and telling them they're going to sue him. That's the nature of this technology. Cardano, the fact that this is happening on Cardano just tells you that Cardano is just as legitimate as Ethereum and Binance and all of the other networks that people hold on a pedestal. We wanted to get rich. Yeah. I mean, just like anybody else, but it's just like, at what point does like logic kick in and say, hey, wait a minute, this is weird? At least telling yourself that, hey, this is weird. It seems like no one, and that's why I was so disappointed in that AMA, because I promise you, if I was in that AMA, they would have probably have had to kick me out of it, or they would have been answering a lot of tough questions, because if the people that have followed me and have been following me for a while, they know when I'm in those AMAs, I'm asking questions. I'm asking tough questions. And I watched the freaking whole AMA. It was an hour. It was over an hour and a half long. And there was no hard questions. No one asked anything of substance. It was all like people getting on saying, oh, I like you guys. You guys are doing a great thing. This is going to the moon. It was like a pitch, like one of those, those real estate tycoons that does the shows at the local hotel, and they're all in there and they're all like hyping everything up. It's like, this isn't business. This isn't project building. This isn't community building. This is just like a bunch of fans hanging out with people that they like. So this is shady. I don't know if Pi wants to come out and say, yeah, I said that, and then give context to it. it's a different story. But as is, it's meaningless. So I don't understand why they keep posting the screenshot. Literally the message he's responding to says the message could not load. What's the message? What's he responding to? No one knows. Nobody can prove what he was responding to. Even if that is him, anybody could have faked that screenshot. Give me a break. Anybody with Photoshop could have made that. They didn't say that in the AMA back in July. Do you want a recorder? Do you want a recorder to remind you what you guys said? Both are the same scamming team. Be careful, investors. A little late on the advice there, bud. Let's see. A partnership between both teams was announced. There's an AMA and several screenshots now. Now you say it was just a marketing and collaboration. To be fair, he's tagging the FBI Los Angeles like they care or even know what the hell any of this is. Honestly, there was a lot of back and forth. There were people saying it was a merger, people saying it was a collaboration all throughout the call. So I was extremely confused, and I don't know if that was done on purpose or if they just were like, whatever. But the fact that they tagged all these, like, the FBI doesn't have any jurisdiction. They're not going to do anything. They don't even do anything about kids that get kidnapped. You think they're going to come and help you get your money back from a decentralized project? Give me a break, dude. 30 minutes to change your stance and come to the table before every international news agency and crypto news is notified of this fraud. I think they already know. Like, come on, man. In the initial AMA, there was talks of a merger and a partnership on the call, and your team was also on it. I will give you that one because I listened and I heard the same thing. And I was like, why isn't anybody saying or correcting or confirming whether it's a merger or partnership? It was like both sides were saying different things and no one corrected anyone. How would Cardstarter liquidity being transferred to SS fall under a marketing and collaboration deal? This makes no logical sense. I agree. Let's see. Exactly. Cards launched on Ethereum with stupid tokenomics too. Unlike the Occam Fi Launchpad, I didn't see them with any close partnerships with IOHK. Yeah, I don't know why they're tagging Charles. They're acting like Charles was like helping them or involved. Like that was another thing. I was like, I'm looking for projects that have a connection to IOG, whether it be through Wave Financial, the C Fund, whether they got funding through Catalyst. They got none of that stuff. So really, really bothered me. And then also, I didn't like the price of the token. The tokenomics didn't make any sense. 10 million tokens, and it was only $80. And then they wanted like 500 cards for you to get into an ISO, and you had to KYC. None of that made any sense to me. It's a bit ridiculous, all these tiers around suing SundaySwap. Yeah, I don't understand how you could logically say SundaySwap was involved or even care. SundaySwap they have the entire network at a standstill. They don't need the liquidity. Why would they risk everything to take whatever little money that they had? This is the risk we take in crypto. Exactly. All of this is risky. All of it. And especially the stuff that just doesn't make any sense. Can't sell news when liquidity was pulled. Okay. And people are tagging, the CEO of SundaySwap on there. I don't think he said anything. Why does he have a lock? What is that? Oh, maybe I don't know. He was an accessory to this fraud. Oh my God. This is a lie. You guys either make this right or you're going down with the ship here. Looks like the ship's already down. I think SundaySwap owes the community some answers here. Why would SundaySwap owe the community answers, but then Cardstarter leadership is completely ghost, and they're not saying anything about that? That's really weird. And again, this freaking screenshot that we don't know. Unless Pi says that he said this, I don't care about this screenshot. I got rug pulled on Coca Loco, pulled my socks up, and got on with it. But even the whole Coca Loco thing, I don't really want to pivot to Coca Loco. But nobody got rug pulled on Coca Loco. People got jerked on the secondary market, but that's the risk you take for buying JPEGs on a secondary market. If you minted a Coca Loco, you got what you paid for, and then you got a refund. So I made out ahead on Coca Locos. I minted a Coca Loco that I wanted. I got the Coca Loco. I liked it. I had no plans on selling it. Stuff went crazy, and trust me, I have a ton of video on the Coca Loco thing that I never released. I've probably got about 3 hours of content on going through the Discord and pointing out the things that I saw that were messed up involving the community. And then I speculate on why Dan left it. I never released that. I'm actually going to probably reach out to Dan and tell him that I have it, and then see if he wants it or not. I'll just keep it forever and probably never release it. But not to pivot away from Cardstarter. Yes, I lost less than 1,000 on this because I started pulling out since mainnet launch. So hey, you made a mistake in your investment, and then you caught on and you minimized your loss. That is a lesson that you learn, and the best way to learn a lesson is when you get your hand burnt a little bit. So now I guarantee you are going to be a true skeptic when it comes to projects, and that is the best way to be. Yeah, lesson learned, secondary market. Yep, that's what people keep saying. They were rugged. They don't. Dan has nothing to do with the secondary market. He can't control what anybody sells anything for. And I'm telling you, it wasn't Dan. So like all these people that are mad at Dan, I have evidence that it was not Dan that was doing this stuff. I have the usernames. I have the people that were pumping the project, were doing some shady stuff on the side, and Dan probably just didn't expect that to happen. And by the time he realized it was probably too late. Or he might not even know what happened at all. But I have the evidence. I have videos. I have about 3 hours of video on Coca Loco that I never released. That's a bullshit, unclear way to communicate wrecked many investors. They didn't wreck anyone. They aren't in charge of Sunday. They're in charge of Sunday Swap. They're not in charge of cards. They're not in charge of CSWAP. But let's take a look at the video, though. Enough with these tweets. Let's just listen to this video.
Is this working right now?
And then I'll do some commentary.
Can you hear me? And can you test your mic as well?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
The thing that sucks about this, though,
I didn't like having a blank.
Is that they didn't like screen capture. They only took the audio, so we can't really. It's hard to tell who's talking.
Yeah,
unless you know their voices.
I was changing. I was setting it up to the shuffle logo.
All good. There's an echo.
Yeah, there was a bunch of mods that started screaming about ecosystem and saying that we needed. Basically the mods kind of took over the project, and they had no control or no idea what they were talking about, because I was a mod and I was just sitting here like, oh my God, what is happening? And just like they started like pumping the price and started organizing and trying to pump the floor price up, and it was like basically like a bunch of like, I won't say insider trading because that's not really a thing in the NFT space, but they were just trying to make a bunch of money on the side, and it ended up wrecking the entire project.
I think it'll probably be good if I
awesome.
mute myself like when one of us are talking. So I think
thank you for coming over.
Talking, that should minimize the chances of an echo. You're trying saying something.
Sure. Yeah, I still.
So the call isn't perfect. There's echoing. Their microphones kind of suck at points.
Hey, everybody who's here. We're just gonna give it a few more minutes.
But hopefully it's not too loud or too low.
Ashwin's gonna be.
Can you pull up the Twitter actually, so that way you can pull up the questions? We'll go through some of the questions on the Twitter, and then we can open the floor up to everyone else. I think that'll probably be good.
Sure. We'll just give it a couple more minutes here.
So this is a pretty long video, but honestly, this really breaks down for me like how unorganized and ridiculous a lot of this stuff was.
Good timing. It's 7:01, so I think now is probably a reasonable time to at least get things started. I figure what we'll probably start with is just going over some of the questions that were given via Twitter. And then I want to be able to get to as many people's questions in here as possible.
Like, we don't even know who's hosting or who's
So
leading this
let
call.
me preface this by saying that naturally this AMA was scheduled and planned in anticipation of today's exciting news and big announcement that we've been working on behind the scenes for a very, very long time.
Give us a date.
Obviously, a lot of the news when it comes to why a lot of details with regards to the future great decentralization or decentralized exchange was kept under wraps was for a lot of these reasons. So a lot of it has to do with non-disclosure agreements, IP law, really, if you think about for some of how some of the
So this is another issue, right? So I would have immediately had written down my questions, right? Okay, so IP law. IP law for what jurisdiction? Are we talking about United States of America, Canada? Are we talking about Europe? In what IP? Who's the IP? Is it SwAP? Is it Cardstarter? Are we talking about launchpad projects? There's no, like, that would have been my first question that
problems
I've written down.
for EU TXO solutions have to exist on Cardano to actually build a DEX. And then along with this, a lot of news with other partners, even outside of SwAP and Cardstarter.
Which partners?
So that, and then also there's some legal issues when
Which
you're trying to make
issues?
sure
What
you can do
jurisdiction?
everything in a regulated and compliant manner. So we have a
Whose regulations? That, again, there's every sentence that comes out of the people that are speaking on this call's mouth is another question that I have. So, like, none of it is clear.
lot of we have, I guess, multiple legal departments now. We thought our legal team was strict, but our partners are just as strict, and so
What
it
partners?
leads to double the regulation. And so I hope you'll be patient as we try to I suppose
And he's not a good speaker. He's I'm already probably closing out the space and walking away at that point.
give as much detail without getting in trouble with the regulatory authorities that
Which
are part of the space, because
regulatory authorities?
that is something that came up. And I'll preface the talk by saying that the future of decentralized finance is really geared towards regulated decentralized finance. And so a lot of the projects that are
What?
really hoping to succeed long term are going to be the ones that are fully compliant with regulation. So this actually came from the top down. So
What top?
a lot of the folks in
Who?
the well, I'll just leave it to your imagination. But obviously,
No. Red flag right there on the play. You'll leave it to our imagination? Why isn't anyone asking these people what the hell? This guy just got on the call. We're at almost 5 minutes and he's done nothing but ramble nonsense.
the folks that we speak with regularly at IOHK and Cardano Foundation, et cetera.
folks?
So they firmly do believe this. And so this is something that they really do believe, that the best projects that have the most longevity in the Cardano ecosystem and
Okay.
blockchain as a whole will be those that are fully compliant with regulation and can get ahead of.
I agree with that part, but he's just talking. And he will say, so this is what I interpreted what he just said. He is talking, he's basically saying that Sunday or IOHK and the foundation, their opinion, which I have the same opinion, is similar to Cody. If you are able to be compliant with governments across the globe, you stand a better chance of success by gaining institutional investment and gaining institutional partners. So if you can get into the EU, get approved, you'll be a decentralized platform, but you have your licenses in order so that you can work with real world corporations. But the way he worded it made it seem like they're talking to IOHK and they're working together on figuring out how to plan their project, which I just don't believe is true.
Anything that the SEC and other governing bodies would want. So that's a bit of a long introduction, but it's an important theme that I kind of set that
You didn't
precedent
even say anything.
to sort of set expectations for the talk moving forward.
Yeah,
so
I would have been out of that. There's
out
no
of
way
the
I would have
way,
sat
if
in this
Atesh
space.
would like to read
So he's calling. I don't know who this person that's speaking. I don't even know. It could be Pi. It could be someone else at Cardstarter. I don't know. But I know the next person, that the different voice that comes on is going to be Artesh.
first, or as many questions as he can off. Maybe we could just start with one question at a time and then go from there.
First, why don't we start off before we get into the questions, because they are pretty meaty. Why don't we start off with just kind of prefacing this whole thing, just going through, Sunday Swap's announcement and the sort of responses that I saw there. I think that some of the community members were a little bit misinformed and
You think this is all freaking confusing, and you guys aren't adding any clarity to it.
understood that to be a launch announcement, as in, they were expecting Sunday Swap to be launching through our platform. That is not the case. I want to be clear about that.
Sense. So again, if these questions are legitimate, because he's just saying that he's seeing questions, I'm assuming he's talking about Telegram, but even at a basic level, he's not speaking clearly. So who's asking these questions? People in the community. Which community? Sunday Swap community or Cardstarter community? Because there isn't a Telegram where both of them are in there together. So you're reading these questions in a specific place, whether that be Twitter, whether that be Telegram. And if it is Telegram, whose channel? Your own channel in Cardstarter or Sunday Swap's Discord? Like basic detail they're not providing in an audio call. And then goes on to say people are confused. Yeah, you think if you're the leader and you're delivering information, I am not shocked that they're confused, because you suck at this.
Sunday Swap has their plans, and those are independent of our platform.
Okay, so he basically says that it's not a merger. It could be thought of a partnership or a collaboration.
So I don't want to say too much on their behalf, because I think it's something that they're delivering, and
aren't they on the call?
And it's part of their.
Aren't they on the call? Can't they speak for themselves?
Their process. So yeah. So just, for those guys who are thinking, oh, there's whatever ISO is not happening because they're going to Cardstarter and they want to launch to, whatever it was, cards holders, etc. That's not the case. So, rest assured, all of this has been thought through. And
it's
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there quickly before we get started here.
I mean, we're not even 10 minutes into the call and they've said almost nothing. And I have like a whole list of questions. Like, this is supposed to be information. Why am I getting more questions about what's going on than answers about anything? And then they're not introducing themselves before they speak on an audio call.
Okay, Ash, just a quick question for you then. When I go through these questions here, and they really go straight to the big questions that everyone does have.
Good.
Then why not just answer them?
Good. All right, let's do it. All right, here's one from Albert C. What happens to our CSWAP? And why are we changing the name to?
They should have they should have started off with, hey, your CSWAP is boom.
Sunday Swap from Card Swap.
Okay, so I'll start with the second half of the question.
So why
first.
is he giggling? So that right there is a red flag to me. He kind of
as far
giggled.
as name change or what have you, there is no. I suppose the best way to put this is this is an amalgamation. This is in essence a merger.
So after just saying that it was not a merger, he's saying it's a merger, in essence, an amalgamation.
Why? So when we think about the lifeblood of this project and we think about the decentralized exchange that's coming out because of Cardstarter and Cardstarter Labs,
CSWAP?
we think about the massive amount of TVL that's made possible by the liquidity providers.
Why is he saying the liquidity providers? Who's the liquidity providers? Or is he talking about the people on the call? Is he talking about the people that are asking the questions? What? Why is he so vague?
That's about 700 to 800 folks that are essentially,
Also, why doesn't he have exact numbers? Don't you have access to the blockchain? Can't you count the wallets? Why are you giving estimates in the hundreds?
They've taken this massive risk. It's not just, for example, staking a single token. It's not just staking, a token that they were going to hold anyway, and then putting it into some sort of, entity or contract to then ideally be able to earn.
And I don't
more
even know who's speaking right now.
It requires a lot more, and it asks a lot more of that individual to actually pair that with a large MCAP coin. In this case, ETH. Obviously, we want it to be ADA in the future.
So he's talking about liquidity providing, and he's going to pay. They're basically, what's going to happen is they're going to pair. This is like the Binance thing. Wait, he said in essence, it's either a merger or it's not. Exactly. He said it's an amalgamation. It's in essence a merger, after saying it wasn't a merger at the beginning of the call. So now we went from merger, it's not a merger, to it's a merger. That's confusing.
But for right now, it's ETH for the sake of convenience. But anyway,
it's not the sake of convenience. You're on Ethereum, and Ethereum is at the time was worth a decent amount of money. So you're putting essentially a worthless token with no utility, and you're pairing it in a liquidity pool with the second most valuable token in cryptocurrency. That's not a red flag. I don't call the ref. I don't know, man. Throw the flags. Throw the
actually
flags.
Pair their token with a higher market cap coin, and then to stake that for purely the belief in a project. That's asking far more, and in my opinion, that's actually what keeps projects alive. I mean, you don't need to ask me. That's just how it is. That's how decentralized finance and most decentralized exchanges stay alive, is actually those core people that are willing to do that. So in my mind, that core group of people, that's who we have to make sure that we as an entire community can support.
Who is we, and who is speaking?
And take care of. And when we're doing that, we have to ask ourselves a lot of big questions, especially looking ahead. And that's how can we make sure that what they've put into, the risks that they have taken, are appropriately and even more so adequately returned. Because those are the people that we all as a community have to thank for how far we've come. And those are the folks that we really need to make sure are, since they're putting their faith and their trust in us, we need to make sure that we can deliver. So when it comes to...
So he double spoke here. So he, in one breath, is saying that they need to take care of people, but they are not really telling us what people. We're talking about everyone that invested in cards? Are we talking about people that are, qualified for the ISO? Like, who are we talking about? What's my opinion? Someone just asked, what's my opinion on the overall Sunday Swap launch? It's a milestone for Cardano for sure, because it proved that the network can hold its own, even though it's 95% congested. Me personally, I was waiting to see if it was going to pull a Solana. Like when Sunday went live, what was the network going to crash? Was it going to go down? Were they going to go, oh, we need to coordinate with all of the stake pool operators and shut the network down? That didn't happen. It didn't crash either. It didn't crash to the ground. We just have congestion. So you can put a transaction through, it'll go through, it'll just happen really slowly. So I think it's a success. It's something that had to happen. And again, it disproves all of the things that people have been saying about the blockchain, that it's a ghost chain, no one's using it, and it'll crash the second that you start going, or it can only do one transaction per block, which is not true. We have the Cardano scans. I'm doing transactions today too. It sucks. It's super slow, but I'm happy. I'm happy we don't have a Solana on our hands.
There's obviously a lot of different angles, and one of them is the head-on competition approach.
It kind of
which obviously
sounds
a lot
like
of
pie
us
in some
in the space
times, but
we're
it doesn't
very
in
competitive,
others, so I don't
and
know.
we certainly would appreciate that kind of approach. The second is collaboration, and the third is sort of a mix between the two, where we appreciate when it makes sense to collaborate and when it makes sense to compete. So I won't get into,
So he said he said collaborate versus compete. So that tells me when, again, CSWAP stands for Cardstarter, card swap. So they were planning on doing a DEX, and they're sitting here with Sunday Swap, which is like, at that time, I don't think it was the darling that it is today, but they're looking at they're basically their competitors. They're Nike and Reebok having an AMA together. And I don't really, they haven't really told us why they're even talking with each other. And I'm confused, and I'm not sure who's speaking at what moment.
The logic behind antitrust laws and trusts and mergers and monopolies and things like that. But what I will talk about is when you see another entity that is basically making up for areas that you're lacking, and you have strengths in areas that they could essentially use some bolstering, it only makes sense to create a collaboration and a merger and an amalgamation.
So he said all three: collaboration, a merger, and an amalgamation. After they said that it wasn't a merger. I wish I knew who this was that was speaking right now.
So for us at, we'll say the entity known as CardSwap,
okay,
the amount of TVL that...
So he said us, and then he said CardSwap. So this person is not Pi. I don't know who it is, though. If anybody knows, please tell me.
Exists, automatically would have put it as the number one TVL for any decentralized exchange that's native to Cardano upon mainnet, upon launch. That is a huge undertaking, and that is obviously something that is not trivial. But a lot of that comes specifically from those 700, 800 folks that have really dedicated their...
Again, why don't you have an exact number? Can't you just go into Etherscan and tell us how many wallets?
Time into putting in this value. So when we look at the other folks that are trying to do the same things in the space on day one, there are a few that come to mind. And of them, the largest community, there's one that's the oldest. So I won't be using all the names, but there's one that's the oldest. There's some that have some interesting backing. There's some that have some history. And then finally, there's SundaySwap, which has easily some of the most community support out of any decentralized exchange.
Yeah.
And beyond that, that's just one. That's just sort of the cherry on top, really.
No, it's not, because it's the first and only thing you mentioned. What did he mention? I'm telling you, the details, man. I'm telling you, the devil is in the details. Let's go back a little bit.
You'd be using all the names, but there's one that's the oldest. There's some that have some interesting backing. There's some that have some history. And
right here it comes.
And then finally, there's SundaySwap, which has easily some of the most community support out of any decentralized exchange. And beyond that, that's just one. That's just sort of the
most backing,
cherry on
most
top,
popular.
Really. But really, what's exciting about SundaySwap are their innovative solutions to some of the biggest problems that any decentralized exchange is going to face.
Like what?
On Cardano.
Like what?
So I can't stress this enough, but building a decentralized exchange, a simple decentralized exchange, is actually the last step of the Plutus Pioneers program. So anyone can build a simple, straightforward decentralized exchange, but to be able to do the things that even Uniswap can't do, and do the things that really you can only do on the Cardano blockchain, to really...
He seems to be only focused on their popularity. I wonder why.
Bring it to that peak. Certainly those are solutions that our amazing developers have been working on, as have the folks at SundaySwap. And you really need to, I guess from a technical standpoint, you really need to be able to put a lot of brain power together. And there's a lot of ideas that both teams have that synergize far better together.
Like what?
And some of the solutions that SundaySwap have, Obviously, for the sake of intellectual
Which
property, I
ones?
cannot mention.
That's a cop out. That is a freaking cop out. And I am so mad, right? But I am so mad at the people that have, again, the people that are like, oh, there was a guy on the call that said I had 5,000 cards. He had 5,000 cards and he was in the United States and he was asking if he could participate. No, you can't. The SEC won't allow you to. So why do you have 5,000 cards and why didn't you sell them after listening to this call? This is crazy. This is crazy. He said he couldn't tell you what made Sunday Swap stand apart besides they're the most supported DEX project in the community. And that was just the cherry on top, but didn't explain anything else as to why they're partnering. So me as a cards holder or a CSWAP miner am sitting there with my jaw on the table right now. I am sitting there with my jaw on the table as to why I am in an AMA with the project that I'm supporting telling me that they're merging but not merging, but merging but not merging with the most popular DEX project on the platform, and I don't know why.
But even just reading through their white paper, some of you on the more technical developmental side can already pick up on exactly what they're imagining. And they're working very closely with, obviously, the folks at some of the bigger labs that are coming out of, the foundations to make sure that this works smoothly. So when looking at the amount of community that they have, as well as the large backing that they have, which I can't emphasize enough, in the next upcoming weeks, things will be made more apparent as to why this was such a important and pivotal move. But nevertheless, it essentially made sense to be able to join forces at this point because it can only make what CardSwap was going to be stronger. And it can only make sure that community, that lifeblood that was essentially providing all of this TVL, can reap the...
So instead of just saying, hey, we want the TVL, we want the liquidity, we want to take the liquidity from Cardstarter and give it to Sunday. But what are you getting in exchange for this? That's what I'm taking from this. This guy, has said a lot of words and not told us a dang thing. Exactly. He sounds like a used car salesman. I got the free liquid airdrop from just being part of their Discord group. Made up for all the losses on NFTs. Now looking for more airdrops across the Cardano system. There's an airdrop with Singularity for NTX. I don't think it's like big, but there's one. This is crazy though. This is absolutely crazy. And this is me just pulling stuff out of context, right? What it seems like to me at 13, almost 14 minutes into the call is that he called everybody to an AMA to kind of tell them that they're kind of working with another project, maybe not, but not. It's a merger, but it's not really a merger, but it's a merger. And the lifeblood of the CardSwap is the liquidity providers and the liquidity that they have. And I am my little brain with the mouse running on the wheel is telling me what is the advantage of any of this. The advantage is it seems like they've got something, right? They've got TVL, they've got locked money, they've got liquidity that they can maybe bargain with. I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if that was a deal, but in my head, if I'm sitting on this call, that's what I'm thinking.
Rewards that they so rightly deserve. So as far as the name, I won't comment on that. I mean, that's just something, for the sake of the merger for right now, that's just it. It is what it is. Again. Especially for the sake of keeping things thematic.
Let's go back. Where are we at? 1408. Let's go to 1358.
So as far as the name, I won't comment on that. I mean,
why not? Why won't you comment on it in an AMA? Why are we having an AMA if you're not going to comment on anything? And also, Listen to this.
That's just something,
He says
for the
merger
sake of the
again.
merger for right now. That's just it
Merger.
is what it is, especially for the sake of
It's
keeping
not.
things
It
thematic.
is what it is.
I know there's been a lot of comments as far
You're choosing not to tell anybody anything.
as Cardswap being sort of a bland name, and it's really meant to, in the beginning, even as a sort of a placeholder, and that's really meant to sort of be a little bit more no frills and generic.
Yeah, no problem on the
For
NTX
some
thing.
reason, Ethereum isn't called ETH Swap or ETH DEX. It's called Uniswap, so that's the most popular DEX there. So, I won't comment too much on what
He said a lot to just say that they were just going to name it whatever they felt like naming it. They didn't have to name it after. They didn't have to name it card swap. They can name it whatever they wanted to.
appeals to the masses. We have our own market psychologist, Topher, that's in the call that could probably comment on
Then
that
why
better
isn't
than
he
myself.
talking about this?
But nevertheless, the name, it's
Oh my God. This is why I got so mad at the investors, because what the hell is this? How do you sit on this call as an investor and you're just like, okay, this sounds okay. I'm going back. Let's listen to this crap again. He's speaking as if he's a market psychologist that he said is on the call, but he's not speaking.
TVL can reap the rewards that they so rightly deserve. So as far as the name, I won't comment on that. I mean, that's just something, for the sake of the merger for right now, that's just it is what it is, especially for the sake of keeping things thematic. I know there's been a lot of comments as far as Cardswap being sort of a bland name, and it's really meant to, in the beginning, even as a sort of a placeholder, and that's really meant to sort of be a little bit more no frills and generic.
Why?
For some reason, Ethereum isn't called ETH Swap or ETH DEX. It's called Uniswap, so that's the most popular DEX there. So, I won't comment too much on what appeals to the masses. We have our own market psychologist, Topher, that's in the call that could probably comment on that better than myself.
Okay, let him comment on it then.
But nevertheless, the name, it sort of is what it is. We went for what was the most appealing to the community at large, as well as the most people that are going to be involved, and that's what's going to make the most sense, especially given the fact that SundaySwap will really be adopting this LP miner community. And then as far as the beginning, what happens to Cardswap? So Cardswap, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this, really be adopting this LP miner community, really be adopting this
That's
LP
a red flag.
Miner community.
Or at least a question.
And then as far as the beginning, what happens to Cardswap? So Cardswap, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this.
Why haven't you
Cardswap
already
is going
had
to
the
reap
statement
far more
ready?
benefit from this merger than it would have on its own. If you actually calculate out the market share, which I can't go into numbers because we...
What? Oh, what? Let's go back. 15. Let's go to 15. So I still don't understand why we're even on this call then.
And then as far as the beginning, what happens to Cardswap? So Cardswap, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. Cardswap is going to reap far more benefit from this merger than...
And who is he talking about exactly? Cardswap, the project people, or Cardswap, the investors?
It would have on its own. If you actually calculate out the market share, which I can't go into numbers because we don't talk about words like, we'll say, we can't say words like token in relation to this. We can't talk about price and supply.
Why not?
But once these...
So you have people blindly investing in a token that you're not telling them basic data on. And why is that? And he doesn't explain why he can't do that. And no one is asking him.
Details are out. It'll be very apparent to everyone that the market share, the percent of supply, we'll say, will make a lot more sense that this would have led to a far greater market share.
But you won't be able to know what any of that data is. But when we finally tell you, you're going to go, oh, it was a better deal. Well, let's fast forward a handful of months. People watching, was it a better deal?
And greater benefit than even, the folks at Cardstarter Labs would have allowed. So in a way, it's actually a good thing because the folks at SundaySwap are far nicer to the miners.
So here's another thing. He's speaking as a third person. So he just said the folks at SundaySwap, and then he said the folks at Cardstarter. So who the hell are you, and where are you from? Are you not on neither team? Are you a mediator? Why are you speaking as a person that has no connection to either project?
Than even we would have been. So it's actually
who is
quite
we?
nice. And that was actually
So he says the people at SundaySwap, the people at Cardstarter, and then the next sentence says we. Who is we?
one of the main stipulations. We had to make sure that those are the folks that not only were taken care of the same way they would have been already, but they actually receive even more benefit.
What benefit?
And then if you couple that with the larger market share that's basically going to happen when you have the combination of the entire SundaySwap community as well as the CardSwap community and the Cardstarter community, we'll say.
No, don't just say. We want specifics. Our SundaySwap community is different. We understand that, but are they splitting CardSwap and Cardstarter into two different communities with two different quote unquote benefits? Also, he's talking about all this legality, and he's talking about the SEC and regulations and how he can't say things, but then keeps saying the word benefit. Benefit. Benefit is a positive thing. Benefit is an advantage. If a token can go up and down, it's not a benefit. When it's down, it's not a benefit. When it's up, it's a benefit. So you're giving advice. You're telling people that it's going to be a benefit. So you're telling people that they're not going to lose, which doesn't make any sense if it's a traded token, because tokens can go up and down.
Then there really should not be any other decentralized exchange in the space in Cardano that should be able to rival it.
All right.
And then says should.
Let's get through some of the other questions as well.
And then you say
you're going to end up answering all of them.
Oh my God.
In one question.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
No worries, man. Okay, so here's one by Rated Assets.
All right, we got a question.
Which is kind of funny. So he says, is CSWAP merging with SundaySwap, or are you competing with yourself now?
This question is the first question I would have asked. Did we not just, after listening to that confusing nonsense, say the guy basically split Cardstarter and CardSwap into two different entities, and then said the people at SundaySwap, the people at Cardstarter, and then us? Like there's three groups in this call and not two?
No, that's great. I mean, we touched on it already, and as Atesh said, I kind of wanted to. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, so I apologize.
You aren't saying anything.
I hate keeping things ever from the community.
It doesn't sound
this
like
is like
it.
a big thing for me because this is why, we sign NDAs and we go through all this, but. For me, transparency is a big thing, so I wanted to talk about this for a while. So obviously, once
I wish I knew
able
who
to
this
answer
was
these
talking.
questions, I just started going off on it. But either way, yes, it's a merger. It is a merger, and
34. Let's go to 29.
just started going off on it. But either way, yes, it's a merger. Just started going off on it. But either way, yes, it's a merger. He's a big thing. He's a big thing. So I wanted to talk about this for a while. So obviously, once I was able to answer these questions, I just started going off on it. But either way, yes, it's a merger. It is a merger.
It is a
and
merger.
I can tell you this, that one of the biggest things, I basically looking at a...
So is the merger between SundaySwap and Cardstarter? Or is it between Cardstarter and CardSwap? Again, the lack of clarity. It's almost like when somebody asked the direct question, they made it like confusing on purpose so you didn't really get a real answer.
Almost a prophetic vision into the future. CardSwap on its own and SundaySwap on its own would both have been beautiful. They both would have done amazing things.
I
But that
disagree,
constant
sir.
competition would have been with each other and with other folks in the space would have been almost unnecessary and silly, given the fact that they complement each other.
Competition is a good thing. It breeds innovation. What is
So
this guy talking
perfectly.
about?
I mean, if you actually were to look at it from a technical perspective, it's almost uncanny how well they complement each other. And
How?
it really is sort of a sum of all parts scenario where it only
parts?
made sense to combine forces, because in every aspect of looking at it from both a fiscal as well as a community perspective, it only led to more returns. And I would even go further and say, yes, it's a merger, but it's not just a merger that defeats competition within the ADA decentralized
Why would you want to do that? You want competition.
decentralized exchange space. The real folks that we would really be going after, especially if we're all believers in Cardano, is, and this is a bold statement, but it's really going after Uniswap. It's going after the #1 decentralized exchange in the space. That should always be the ultimate goal, is to revolutionize what is already happening. So if Cardano is really meant to be better than Ethereum, then
Why
this
would
new
you need to do this?
powerful DEX is not meant to
Then
be the
it's
best
gonna
on
happen
Cardano.
inevitably.
It's meant to be the best in all of blockchain. And that's really what we owe our liquidity providers. Sorry, again, long-winded answer. I apologize. Go ahead, Atesh.
No, that's good. That's good. So I know that a lot of people, a lot of
So yeah, that's what I think. Also, after listening to this nonsense, the Sunday people that were on this call could have truly understood what this man just said, because the question that he asked was, are you competing with yourselves? And he said, yes, it's a merger. I take that as he's talking about Cardstarter and CardSwap, not SundaySwap.
of your loyal followers from the G-Wagon CSWAP gang speak about a $14 price point. Now, I know, of course, we can't talk.
Why are they talking about prices? This is fantasy. They don't even have a product out
About the dollar value or any predictions like that. So I'm going to take this into another question that is related and from the miners/farmers themselves. So their question is, this is by Diamond Hands Jackson. Great name.
Who is this guy?
How are you going to balance ensuring CSWAP miners are getting the same or better value for their tokens?
Also, when they say miners, are they actually talking about people that have a mining operation that are mining tokens with equipment, or are they talking about liquidity providers? Because that's completely different.
Whilst also ensuring the Sunday community doesn't feel lied to about the ISO, etc. Miners risk money
What
and
ISO?
time on the line, so should be top priority.
Yes. I mean, that's the short answer of the long question, but the answer is yes. And I talked about this in the beginning as a preface. The lifeblood is not about staking a token in a single pool or a contract. That is incredibly important.
But it's not a single
pool. That is a
pool.
high market cap coin that people are going to hold regardless. And holding it in a contract.
What coin? What is he talking about? Is he talking about cards? Is he talking about CSWAP? Is he talking about Sunday?
There are risks, but it's far lower than if you were to provide LP. And I think anyone in the
Dark entry, yes, he's an advisor because Paribus launched on Cardstarter. He's pretty much an advisor on every project that was big that launched on Cardstarter. He's an advisor on Giro as well. They all in Charlie 3 maybe as well. All three of those projects launched on the Launchpad, so he became an advisor. That's a part of what an accelerator does. So if people don't understand what an accelerator does, is they basically, like I said in the last video, they take a project. So say you have a project, right? And you've raised money and you've got developers and you've got a lot going for you. You just don't have that push that can take you to the next level. You would look for a launch pad where they would give you access to angel investment. They would help you with things like opening a bank account and getting fiat funds so that you can hire marketing, or you can, hire lawyers or things like that, because those real world things don't take like crypto. You can't pay for a lawyer with crypto. You have to pay with cash. So if you're a crypto project, you usually don't deal in cash. You're dealing in cryptocurrency. So they basically help you build your project. So it's almost like, if you're familiar with like business and stuff, like we did this a lot, like for the company that I work for, they would take, like whenever they bought out a company, they would take like the executives that they wanted and some of the advisors they wanted and put them on the board, just because they were rich. So it's like the same thing. It's like he's on these projects as an advisor because they launched on his launch pad, if that makes sense. And I can make a video on that whole thing if you want me to.
The community is going to agree with that. So naturally, the folks that are providing LP are going to, because of the larger amount of risk that's posed, especially when given so little details. I mean, it's excruciating.
Why would you do this? Why would you risk at that time, and even today, the second most valuable cryptocurrency in existence, and put it in a pool with a token that you don't even know the supply of? Why would you do this?
To not give the folks that were mining CSWAP any details as far as what is happening behind the scenes.
Mine this token. We're not going to. It could be.
Yes,
it could be 10,000.
They're doing it anyway. I mean, it's truly just something that you cannot help but be in awe of.
Yeah, he can't be in awe of how stupid they are. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody, but you can be in awe of how stupid they are. And even he is like, wow, I can't believe these people are doing this. Think with me real quick. Say I come to you and I have a project. I can't tell you what the project is. I can't tell you what I'm going to do. I can't tell you who's backing it. I have a token. I can't tell you how many of that token I've made. I can't tell you who has the token. I can't give you any information on the tokenomics on that token. But I want you to put it in a liquidity pair with the second most valuable cryptocurrency to ever exist, the first Gen 2 cryptocurrency, the first blockchain with smart contracts. I want you to put it in a risky ass pool with that and just do it. And you actually do it.
And just be excited for that community and just say, yes, these are the folks that really believe, and these are the folks that really should be rewarded. But as far as, I won't comment on the we'll say the other aspects of the Sunday Swap community and what's happening there. That's not for us to comment on at this time.
Just another thing. That is the whole reason why I'm covering this, because I want to know what's going on. Because again, what is the risk? I talked with Damien from Charlie 3, the CMO, on his space earlier today. And my first question to him was, are you guys in limbo because of what's going on at Cardstarter? And he said no. And I asked him a follow-up question. Say this does go the way people are saying it goes, and they are, let's say, they're rug pulling, and they're going to take the liquidity and they're going to run. And I asked him directly, I said, will that stop your show? He said, no, nothing changes for them. So that's what I am bringing this stuff to the forefront for, not only because it's just interesting, but because Cardstarter was a launch pad for a lot of legitimate projects. And I want to know if they're wrapped up in anything that this group of people are doing, or may be doing, or may not be doing. I want worst case scenario plan so people can plan, so I can plan. So far in my investigation, there's nothing that they don't have any tokens. Charlie said that they have all of their tokens. They don't control any of that. They are completely separate. They have nothing to do with them. The same thing for Giro and the same thing for PBX.
And legal and regulatory reasons. What I can say is they're an amazing team, and they have not forgotten about anybody in their community. No one in that community is forgotten. they're literally, their hands are tied, and it's so painful to watch them. Their hands are tied by regulation and legality to be very careful on what they can and can't say. But I can assure everyone, at least from this perspective, that not only are it's hard for me because I can't even I have to be very careful about what I say.
Yeah,
Ultimately, what I
do.
can say is everyone should remain faithful and have an.
Why should they remain faithful? Because you're telling them to? You can't even give them tokenomics. You can't tell them anything. Well, you probably can, but you're choosing not to.
Idea that there's they will be taken care of. As far as
you'll be taken care of, how? Financially? Is that a good term or a bad term? Because taken care of, that sounds like a mafia term. That could be, you can be getting killed or you could be getting rewarded. Why is there no clarity there? And why is no people sitting on the call not asking or demanding that clarity?
CSWAP, I mean, you guys are getting obviously an amazing end of this deal. And when you guys actually go back and look at the math in the end.
What math? Give us the math.
Once we can release all of the details, I'm only expecting like excitement.
Then why are you taking money from people that you can't give details to?
More excitement. I mean, I would say, history doesn't always repeat itself. It's not a great marker of the future, but we've always done things on this team. Always, and Sunday will actually attribute to this. We've always put the community ahead of the team. So even when it comes to doing things like this, the community came first. Every step of the way, the community, and making sure that they got way more than what we initially were even hoping for. Really was the goal. The fact that they worked with us every step of the way really shows just how much they care about making sure that the community is happy and grows over time. They think less about themselves than they do about their own community. So I can definitely say that both the Sunday Swap community as well as
this is love bombing. This is what they do in cults.
The new adopted CSWAP community in this new ecosystem are going to be
new adopted CSWAP community. How do you adopt yourselves? I think we just cracked the case, guys. Who was that said that? Said, I believe that they interpret it to mean Cardstarter in CSWAP is what the focus of this was. And everybody else was kind of just like assuming that's what they were talking about. Because I can tell you, watching this again with you guys, and what I think it's Eyebrow. Sorry if I'm Ebro or Eyebrow. Correct me if I'm wrong on which way to pronounce that. He said in the chat, he said the merger could have been interpreted to mean between card swap and cards. Hence, maybe why Sunday Swap guys didn't say anything on the call, and that makes
very well
perfect
taken
sense
care of
based
by
on what
all of
this
us.
person is saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is really, really exciting, guys. I just want to clarify that that's how we feel. That's how their team feels, and I know that's how a majority of the community feels too. But when there are,
why is he speaking for three groups of people when they're supposedly all on the call and they can speak for themselves?
Questions in the air. I understand that there's uncertainty because it's not being explicitly expressed. But just know that as always, we make decisions that are going to benefit as many people as possible before ourselves, before something as simple as branding. So, all of this has been considered.
We got
all of it.
A post. Hold on. We've got a post from Cardstarter team in the Telegram. Let's take a look. Let's pivot. Let's pivot over. Okay, there we go. We're up on the screen there. This happened at 13 p.m., so not that long ago. About a little under an hour ago while we were watching this. Let's scroll up a little, see if there's anything before it. All right. Forwarded from Cardstarter announcements. Dear Cardstarter community, discussions with Sunday Swap are ongoing. Please understand that finding a solution is a lengthy process that requires input from both Cardstarter and Sunday Swap. Yeah, that's crazy. While this will take some time, we are fully committed to keeping the community updated on developments. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we work towards resolving this matter. All right, question. What matter? What are you admitting happened? What happened to the liquidity for the CSWAP token? Feeling confused. Why wasn't a solution in place earlier, like months ago? Why are you just now talking to Sunday Swap about this? You've had an operation up for a year, and now you're just now working with Sunday. They said you haven't contacted them since the 19th. How does this make sense? Just another lie to string us along. Boy, go create your own CSWAP chat room. Boys, go create your own CSWAP. No, don't do that. Stay in there and force them to tell you what's going on. If we don't get a one-to-one Sunday swap, at least Cardstarter will have a fat. I'm so tired of them with the lawsuit crap. Just shut up. Sunday Swap, haven't heard anything from you guys in days. You didn't even comment on their tweet. What game you playing? Mate, the CEO is posting about it in the Cards chat. Ha ha ha. This is a Cards issue. CSWAP holders are the Cardstarter community. What? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Stay there. Don't leave and make your own community. It's their problem. Yeah. All right, Manny, look in the Cardstarter Twitter page. It looks like their last tweet was in June. To me, that's a huge red flag. Me too. So this took place in July and they haven't tweeted since June. We'll have to take a look at that. Wow, it's been that long. What the? Let me pull that up. Let me go to their cards page here. Cardstarter. I'm actually following them. They've been making announcements. Let me switch over. I'll show you guys. So January 19th, they pinned this post. It's a IDO event, of course. Update bridging, World Mobile Token Bridge, of course. That's a big project that's connected to IOG. They gotta serve them. Today is January 20th, an exciting day for the Cardano system. Our team wanted to address to let you know we can expect an announcement with details about the migration incentive today. I think that's when everything went to hell. Before that, IDO. Giro is now live on 8x Pro. Yeah, we knew that. Giro was taking care of all that stuff on their own with no help from you, might I ask. So yeah, they're just doing promo for the projects that launched on their launch pad. And Lockness, that's their like next one, I think, that's coming up or might have already launched. They've been promoting like projects. So I mean, that's pretty normal. They just do promo. But honestly, like that's 64. Honestly, I think, well, let me see where Giro's at. Dun 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 dun. Like Giro is like half of their followers now. Like a lot of these projects are like going to begin to outshine Cardstarter. And when that starts to happen, I mean, so, you know, there are projects that are just going to be superstars. I think Giro is one of those projects. Paribus is one of those projects. So that's just inevitable. But Giro is like half of their subscribers right now. So I don't know. I just don't see the point in Cardstarter anymore, honestly. Let's look at Telegram again. So this is crazy. Should the community be putting pressure on Sunday Swap on social media? No, they didn't do anything. What does the team need? What do you mean, what does the team need? They need to give answers. They are trying to screw Cardstarter out of the original deal. What's the Oh, these people are insane. This is exactly like the people that are on Twitter that are just talking nonsense, that are mad at me because I'm reporting on this stuff. and that I automatically have to be on their side and agree with them. No, I don't. The level of intelligence here. Oh, the CSWAP page. Oh, let me take a look. Hold on. Let me pull the CSWAP page up. Dun, dun, dun. CSWAP. CSWAP. That looks, I don't even know if that's the right one. CSWAP. Discord. CSWAP org. No, that's not even the right freaking. What is the page? What is their Twitter page? Cardswap. Oh, there it is. Let's switch here. Chrome back over. All right, here we go. Here's the page. Cardswap. And they have Cardstarter IO as the link on their page. They're following 2 people. They've got 13,000, almost 14,000 followers. Their last tweet, they did a retweet in May. And their last pin was June. They pinned a tweet from Cardstarter's Medium. This is crazy. Let's read it in brief. We've waited for this. You've anticipated this. The Alonzo hard fork is on the horizon, all while CardSwap continues to blossom by already becoming the largest Cardano DEX by total value locked. Even though, are they even a DEX? Do they do anything? Can you use this? The team's worked diligently and is excited to provide a glimpse into what we have tailored for you. Our LP community can now take a preemptive sneak peek at the platform CSWAP was designed for. That's the day mode. Looks, I don't know. That look good to you guys? It's too much. There's too much. Like there's just too much going on. It's like just not simple. It's got all these tokens, trending tokens, the price of ADA. Why do they have ADA at $15? That doesn't even make any sense. It's too much info. I pulled it from CoinMarketCap. With the built-in stockpile of instrument trading tools, the team designed CardSwap with the user experience in mind. Chart analytics, indicators, and instant order book histories are intuitively placed, crafted with features that did not have their own DEX until now. CardSwap was built with a focus on accessibility and ease of use. And then they got the night mode. Easier on the eyes, same functionality, same dependability. How do you, what? Dependability, it's not even real. It's a screenshot. All intuitive. It's CardSwap at night. Using the app should be intuitive. Should be, or I thought it was. It should be accessible, and greater accessibility means you and others don't need to fumble. Looks like a bunch of fumbling nonsense to me. I'm like looking around like, what's the search for? What are you searching for? You searching for pairs? There's not a drop down here that you just click and you drop down all the pairs that are available. You have to search for them. This is crazy. Oh my God. This is all red flag out of nowhere. This came out of nowhere. This is so sad, man. This is so sad. Let's flip back to Telegram. Legit projects would have recent tweets. I'm going to have to agree with you there. Can't I believe what I'm seeing? It truly is over. So clear that Sunday is trying to F the Cardstarter community. So yes. What? How did you get that conclusion from what this man just said? Cards is holding up well, everything considered. How? These people are insane. Another announcement to wait for an announcement. Oh, these people, man. This guy said they should go after Sunday Swap. What the hell does Sunday Swap have to do with any of this? I was giving CS the benefit of the doubt, patiently waiting for updates, but now that it has seemingly changed from more updates to come with clarification to now having ongoing discussions and to resolve the matter has me very concerned. On the surface, this certainly doesn't project as a done deal from the summer and just waiting out the time for all to be revealed, but rather now it's panic mode to find some way to slow the bleeding. Another announcement to wait for an announcement. Cry face. All right, this is now horrible. Cards told us they'd take care of us. Would be great if that was true. And now in a lengthy process, people have timelines, families to feed, bills to pay. That's a problem. You're investing in putting your real life stuff in limbo. You're a moron. I'm sorry. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. Complete moron. Moron. I don't know how else to say it. You're a freaking moron. If you're taking food from your family and you're not paying your bills to invest in a crypto project, you're a moron. Moron. The only things I enjoy these days are images of VCC needles going into arms and announcements announcing that there is going to be an announcement. This isn't an update. This is the same thing that you have said. Explain your statement of not being able to speak until confirming with Sunday. Why have they publicly tweeted no communication attempts made by you? Cards is holding up well, all things considering, because liquidity is locked. Once unlocked, look for the price to plummet, sadly. Dear Cardstarter community, discussions with Sunday Swap. Oh, okay. So a solution is needed because there is an issue. Why aren't you being honest? Boom. That's what I said. In his statement, he said he's dealing and discussing with Sunday Swap to resolve an issue. What issue? You've never confirmed that there was an issue. The people had to confirm that there was an issue. Because after your reaction to their news, their bussin' isn't exactly thriving, nor is their reputation business. They need our money, our followership, our buy-in. They need this community. Without us, what are they? Another failed project. Negative press doesn't win hearts and minds or instill confidence in their name is being negatively smeared everywhere. So whether they like it or not, they need us. Therefore, they need a plan to try to win back the community. Current state equals not good press for them, not good press for Sunday, and ultimately not great for Cardano. Again, I don't know why they keep trying to marry this issue to Cardano. There's a freaking rug pull on Binance almost every damn day, and no one says anything about taking down Binance. There's always more to the story, but silence says a lot. It means some part of the plan blew up, or they just thought their community was that dumb. And going back to that AMA, he said he was shocked. He was shocked that people were sticking with him, essentially. So I don't know what to tell you there. They probably do believe that. Feeling confused. Why wasn't a solution in place earlier? Like ditto, I thought they were just discussing the NDA and what info could be released. Why not sue? Again with the lawsuits. Who are you going to sue? And with what lawyers? I thought all your money was gone. If they're in the middle of anything legal, they absolutely cannot speak on this stuff. Obviously, if Sunday hadn't done something, there wouldn't be any issue. What? Oh, here goes another Stockholm Syndrome guy here. If Microsoft was in the middle of anything involving lawyers, mergers, or anything, they said it wasn't a merger, then anything management related, their exec team would be fired instantly for giving out information. This guy's got straight Stockholm syndrome. Y'all haven't been in the real business world. I have, and this doesn't happen. Why is a CMO in people's DMs letting us know that he's so prior to the announcement? You guys can lie all you want on this chat, but validate yourselves by showing us your addresses. Prove to us that you didn't. Why don't you already have their addresses? Why don't you already have the wallet addresses? That's my big question. On all of the legitimate projects like Paribus and Giro Wallet, they have policy IDs for stuff. They have wallet addresses. You can go look on Etherscan at the Paribus wallets, every single one of them, the largest to the smallest, and you can look at all of the transactions. When they do the token burn, they post the Etherscan transaction. You can look at the burn. You can look at the address in which it was sent to. These people that are investing in this project don't seem to have a basic understanding of how blockchain technology works, and it shows. Why is the CMO people, okay, please watch out for scam accounts. There's a lot of accounts posing as admin team members. Why aren't you talking about what's going on? What happens when liquidity migration takes place from ETH to ADA? Will this ordeal end once liquidity has migrated? He's sitting here talking about scams, but he's not talking about what happened to the CardSwap liquidity. Keyword, people have families to feed. I've compromised the ability to take care of my family. Why? Why have you done this? Between Cards, CSWAP, and ETH, I have tied up within the migration contract. I literally have lost significantly thanks to the false promises that both Cardstarter Labs and Sunday Swaps have made. Sunday Swap hasn't made anything. They haven't done anything to you. Keywords like merger, accrued significant benefit, CSWAP miners will be taken care of. And these words is what you staked your family's livelihood on. Okay, buddy. We were tricked in a false narrative. Thanks, guys. This might actually send me over the edge. It's been a fun ride, guys. Hug your family a little tighter for me in this stressful time. You're a freaking idiot is what you are. Keyword, Chris, I'm going to send you a DM. I empathize with your situation, and I really don't want any harm to come to anyone. Please reach out to me, mate. What is this? Is this the real dude? Is this Brandon for real? This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. The only scam we need to watch out for is you. 1 plus. +1 right there. Seems like life would have been better if I completely avoided this altogether. I did. Life's good. Even in a freaking crypto crash, I'm sitting here happy as ever to get ADA for $1. I don't understand why anybody would invest in this nonsense. What discussions? I invested in CSWAP to go to DEX for Cardano. Why didn't you just buy Cardano? When CSWAP merged with Sunday Swap as a DEX, so I was supposed to get Sunday Swap DEX tokens. End of discussion. Where is this announced? Anywhere on the internet. It's not on anybody's Medium page. It's not clearly stated in the AMA that we've been watching. Why are they making up stuff in their own heads as truth and facts? A lot of these people are just completely delusional. Hi, I got into cards only a few months ago, obviously at a huge loss now. Can someone explain what this whole issue is with CSWAP and Sunday Swap and its relation to cards? Sorry, can't seem to understand what's happening. Thanks. Then why are you buying crypto? He's not the only one, Brandon. I hung to your every word with at least a hope that even if it was the worst deal, I'd cut even. Why? I have a 4-year-old son. You guys might not know it, but this affects a lot of people. How will I give him any kind of life now? I'm a joke to something that looks like a scam, but I truly believe because of you, all that it wasn't. I'm not about people losing money. It's about affecting people's livelihoods. These people are crazy. You have a kid and you're investing your money in a crypto project? This will be an unpopular message, but still needs pointed out. People have to learn that investment is only for at-risk capital. 100% only invest what you can afford to lose. Pure and simple. If you are hurting, take how you are feeling and remember it and let it guide your investment sizing in the future. Exactly. These people are insane. Man, life is a roller coaster. We ride with or without money. The fact that you have a family is number one priority, and it means you are lucky already. I was once poor, down and depressed, but life can turn around. And it's not going to turn around if you're investing your money that you need to feed your kid into a crypto project. It's not going to turn around for you. We don't usually DM first, but I shot you a quick message. Oh, why don't you just message everybody in this chat room? You guys were the founders of CSWAP. If you simply say CSWAP is the CNT to mine on SundaySwap, then all value returns to normal, nothing lost. A few words, it helps all. Isn't value the goal? CSWAP had value until you changed it to cards. Change it back. Hurry. It's only words to fix a nightmare. This is really crazy. This is just nuts. A friend of mine has tried to commit suicide because this situation. He's unstable and calm in the hospital. But it isn't fair. He lost over $30,000. That money was from his dad. Then why did he invest it in a crypto project? One that was bad from the start. Migrate.cardstarter.com. Copy link. Maybe I'll just go to it. Oh, hell no. Please connect your Ethereum wallet. Yeah, right. I hear you loud and clear. Know that we are fully on your team and we will continue working diligently to make things right. I wish they would just tell us what happened. If these guys broke their NDA to tell you stuff, it could actually cause this whole deal to fall through. Go bug Sunday. Why would they bug? This doesn't even make any sense. What does Sunday have to do with any of this? They have no control over CSWAP. They have no control over their liquidity. They have no control over any of that stuff. And they could tell you, they could say that themselves. NDA. I think you may be referring to some comments I made about things we have in development to incentivize and reward people who've been loyal in this ecosystem. There are benefits outside the CSWAP program being worked on. So these are the only benefits for the CSWAP program. The first update with 400-to-1 ratio vested over 6 months. You minus 99% us. Oh, man. Finally, just to correct any speculation, SundaySwap entered into a marketing collaboration agreement. This was not in any sense a merger of the two entities, as explained in our own announcement. Have any of these folks ever heard of fiscal responsibility? They clearly have not. I don't even know what's up with this, but it doesn't sound any good. It doesn't. You have a bunch of people. I wouldn't even want these types of people on my project if I had a project. It's nothing but grief all day. Please don't misconstrue my words. Ignition was referring directly to statements I had made about other incentives. What other incentives? Why don't you just say it? I don't understand why they're like purposefully not. They're like making it harder on themselves. Sounds like many people overinvested in this, one based on a lot of misleading promises. Bingo. One thing Cards team is certainly good at is overhyping and inflating a project. All this negative sentiment is actually just making all our investments sink further. The only way to recoup value is if the card's price rises. I think CEO needs to resign as the leader of this team. We need a full transparency as to where this went wrong. We need full disclosure of what's happening potentially next. I feel for you guys that overcommitted to this project. Realistically, the only way to recoup losses is if Cards succeeds and value returns. What a shitty catch-22 predicament we find ourselves in, as it means sacrificing principle to carry on supporting a very sour tasting project. I'm really stuck trying to decide if I cut my losses and get 25K back out of the 65K I put into Cards. Oh my God. Why did you put $65,000 into Cards? I think there is a chance we could get this ironed out, but personally, I feel Atash should not be leading this race. Every time I see him here, it angers me. Jeez. What the would be a lengthy process? Should have sorted this months ago. Oh, man. This just isn't good, man. This just isn't good. Scrolling through. And I don't understand what a petition is supposed to do. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of damn time. Wow, yeah, that's a recipe for wreck. Somebody tweeted me. Let me respond back to them. So is Sunday lying in their Twitter post that you guys haven't contacted them since 19th of January? If they won't even respond to the fact that Sunday Swap said they haven't contacted them since the 19th. Founder of XBTC, another rug pull exit scam. I'll take a look at that. I don't know anything about it. Can you explain why Sunday is saying that you have not heard from you since the 19th? Oh, man. I still think that if people calm down and wait for the storm to settle, the cloud will begin to disappear. There is still some chance and hope of a success if we stay positive. The timing of this bombshell could not have been worse, with the whole market crashing hard. When Cardano hype returns and positive sentiment, the value could recoup all our losses. This show of negativity will just add to all our losses. This craziness is just adding holes to a sinking ship. I mean, yeah, I could agree in a sense, but they're doing this because this team isn't telling them anything and just telling them to hold on, wait, hold on, wait, hold on, wait, over and over again. They can't just simply say what happened. What happened? I want to know what happened. This is insane. This is giving other projects a bad name. Like, I sit here and watch, and I really appreciate Damon, man. That dude's a solid CMO. He put a hard line down. He said, we don't have anything to do with them. He said, we used their launch pad. We launched. Here we are. That's what it is. They're not connected to this. They're not wrapped up into this. And of course, people that don't really understand how any of this works, they're going to key in on the fact that, you know, these people are involved in projects, other projects. Those projects must be a scam too, when it's just not true. We don't even know if this is a scam, but the fact that they're not telling us anything is really shady. Let me elaborate. We've been working to develop additional incentives and rewards, as you just said. I don't even know why he's arguing with him about this instead of talking about what happened. To provide a bit more clarity, we've been working on ways to expand the Launchpad ecosystem beyond Cardano as we are working towards migrating for the Cards platform. When I said incentives, I meant direct access to these expansion efforts. We and the incentives would pertain both to loyal IDO participants as well as our legacy LP providers. So I'm guessing that's what the Star launch is. There's some kind of new launch pad that they're supposedly launching that people were talking about. So not only really a topic at hand, unfortunately, these last few days have pulled our attentions away entirely from that side of things. Something I want to make sure of is that we can still keep the community clear on any technical steps moving forward regarding LP, bridging, IDOs, etc. So, I mean, this is all speculation here, but it looks like they launched another project called like Star Launch or Starpad or something. Let me see if I can search for it on Twitter because I looked at it earlier. I saw a comment tweeting, someone tweeting saying, oh, okay, that's something different. So I think it was called like Star Launch. Oh, there it is. Star Launch on Solana. Let's switch to Chrome. Here it is. So the first insured launch pad for Solana. So they've got apparently they've got this is what they're saying. Let's just go through some of their posts and see. I don't know if this is theirs or if this is something that launched. Total stars staked. So they went from cards to stars, maybe. This is on Solana. It's a launch pad. Let's see what people are saying about it. Let's just search. See what the sentiment is. Latest. Oh, wait. Atash Amar. He is the CEO of Cardstarter and Star Launch Sol. Please beware of impersonations. Okay. So he's saying that he's the CEO of this. So let's look at the sentiment. The project going to be amazing. I love the concept. Our bags are full with Hydra. Dun, dun, dun. We need to know the details of this partnership Cardano is about, honestly, not rug pulls. That's Sunday Swap. Yeah, staying well away from anything Cardstarter and Soul Launch Soul do. It's a shame my Giro launched through them. It's all I will continue to hold affiliated with them. Yeah, because Giro's a legitimate project. They just launched on them. They're not connected to them. What about the rug you and I don't know why they keep linking Sunday Swap to this. Before you invest in Star Launch, check Cardstarter's CSWAP rug pull. Cardstarter community got wrecked beautifully and lost 99% because of false promises. Do your own research. Nobody's commenting on any of this stuff. It's just a bunch of randoms. Scam. People saying that it's a scam. Entire platform losing credibility. Wow. Yeah, I mean, but this is expected though when you're playing that game. I don't even really want to go through the rest of this video. It's so obnoxious. This is just crazy though. So it looks like maybe this is what he's talking about here. Maybe they used the liquidity for that project. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't understand why they're not telling anybody anything. To be honest, mate, it would need to be at least 30 cents per token to cover everyone at break even. If this isn't remotely possible or some kind of value that's equivalent, let us know and we'll move on with our own endeavors to make things right. In addition, why does Sunday say you haven't reached out, but you claim you are in discussions and negotiations? Good question. Anything that doesn't have anything to do with them talking about what happened, I'm skipping over. He keeps talking about additional benefits. We want an AMA immediately. Please face your investors. Enough of the eternal promises. That's a good, I like that one. Yeah. Have the conditions of the, but that's the thing. What were the original agreements? You don't know because there's talking everywhere. Me, myself, and my wife are beyond this one. Okay. Myself and my wife are beyond shambles at this point. It just gets worse and worse. No hope. Why go on? Why are you so deep into these projects, man? I had my own money, some of what little money my mom had, friends all on the words that the team gave us. Wow. This is burning badly and will take years to recover. If we can't get a good resolution, things will really start to get messy. These people were leveraging their own money and other family members' money to buy this stuff. Why? This is crazy. We're in discussions with Sunday to find a fair resolution for everyone. Praying hands. Yeah, but they said that you haven't talked to them since the 19th. So why aren't you answering that question? He could simply just type, yeah, we haven't talked to them in a couple of days. Some things came up. We're back in discussion now. Then Sunday could confirm that. And then all of this would stop. But they're not doing that. You haven't already made your decision, so there's nothing to resolve. The crypto space is small and you guys have created a career suicide move. This whole community who rode the 9-month CSWAP wave will not forget this. So is Sunday lying on their Twitter post that you guys haven't contacted them since the 19th? Still hasn't answered that. So you explain why Sunday is saying that you haven't heard from them since the 19th. Still not answering it. I'm still think that if you people calm down and wait, he keeps this. We go back up or it's just the same stuff. I feel you, bro. I didn't go home since yesterday. My wife thinks I am in a business trip while I am a couple of blocks away in a motel watching my laptop hoping for answers. I am fucked and don't know what to do. Shoot me a message if you need someone to talk to. We're here with you guys. We and working with Sunday to find this is sick. If this stuff is real, I don't know if these guys are trolling or what, but this is crazy. How could you ever do this to yourself by investing all of your money into it? Why wouldn't you put all your money into like Ethereum or Bitcoin or something at least? Why didn't you put all your money in Cardano? I'm telling you, if I'm talking 9 months ago, if they would have put their money in any of the top 10s, they would have made money. But they put it in an unheard of token. This is so frustrating. Is the Cards ETH, Giro ETH, C3 ETH LP still going to be transferred? Yes, Giro and Charlie said that it is going to be transferred. That they don't have anything to do with that. They're not even responsible for the bridge. M Labs is working on the bridge. Show the message, can't see. Did I not switch it back? Oh, sorry guys. Like this dude said that he was in a hotel. Myself and my wife are beyond shambles at this point. It just gets worse and worse. No hope. Why go on? People talking about suicide. Then this guy said he had his money and his mom's money. They're still not answering the question about Sunday Swap, saying that they haven't talked to them since the 19th. Then he said CSWAP needs to be at least worth 30 cents for them to break even. And then somebody demanded that they do an AMA right now. I don't understand why they didn't do that. This is insane. Then this guy said that, said myself and my wife are beyond in shambles. I feel you, bro. I didn't go home since yesterday. My wife thinks I'm in a business trip while I'm a couple of blocks away in a motel watching my laptop hoping for answers. I am effed and I don't know what to do. Go home and tell your wife what you did. That's your best bet. They're not going to save you. It'd be a lot easier to wait through the storm. And then there's this guy that just keeps saying, oh, just wait. Just wait. Don't go after Sunday. Like, what is that going to do? Sunday didn't do any of this to you. Sunday didn't control your liquidity for your token. Why would Sunday be in control of your liquidity? Unless they're saying that they just stole it. And if that's the case, why aren't they saying that? There's no NDA that tells you that you can't tell somebody that committed a crime against you. We're in discussions with Sunday to find a fair solution for everyone. Yeah, he said that. We are currently all at 97% loss. If somehow we even manage to break even, we will of course all clear your name. But at this present time, the team has continued to lie and mislead us. Brandon claims you guys were in talks with Sunday when the last communication you had with them was on the 19th. We have blindly trusted you guys for 9 months, and then that has got us all wrecked. I am sorry, but you will not be able to mislead us anymore. You can constantly use the word merger in the AMA, and now we are told by Sunday Swap it is no more than a partnership. The same partnership they also have with WMT and LQ. However, the community of those two projects haven't asked their community to provide liquidity for 9 months and suffer a huge and permanent loss in order to farm Sunday. Anyone can farm Sunday right this second with those two tokens. That's what I said on my last live. There was no benefit in farming CSWAP if all they were going to do was let you farm Sunday. Anybody can do that. I can do that. What was the benefit of you providing liquidity to their pool for a token that they just made up? All things point to red, serious, bright red flag. And you did it anyways. You people did it anyways. The January 21st announcements already said that you were approaching Sunday. Atash, why would you need to approach a business partner and even an entity that Cardstarter merged with per that dude's comments on a June AMA where you and Mateen were present? Because we discovered what we discovered when we listened to it. The way that they worded it, we believe Sunday Swap thought that they were talking about Cardstarter and CSWAP, not Cardstarter and Sunday Swap. Now today's announcement says you are trying to get a hold of them. How much time do you need to talk with Sunday Swap on such a critical issue? Why is Sunday Swap being so evasive of establishing a dialogue with Cardstarter? This makes me think this relationship is not going well at all. Man, if only you would have realized that months ago. I had one stage suggested they were going to give us cards as a reward. I instantly got direct message from the team and asking who told me, and their complete demeanor changed in conversation. They knew, and there will be records to prove this. I was directly told it wasn't the case. That's some serious malpractice. They're not freaking doctors. Where's that one guy at? He's funny. Give us an update or a voice call now. You actually look like jokes. It's all changed now. Damn, this stuff is, let's just keep scrolling. Let's get to the bottom. All right, that was a good one. We're going to sign off. Can't agree more with this. What do you say? This was, oh man. Why are they responding to stuff super far ago? Post it, please. Sir, check DMs. Clown. This is crazy, man. This stream's going on for mad long. And we have very little detail more than we had before. This is the price chat. I'm curious to cards. I'm serious to what they're talking about in here. Will cards see a recovery? I only got in a few months ago. Just trying to figure out what to do. Probably, bro. Seems very negative, but don't know the history with CSWAP and Sunday swap. Does the unlock from the recent IDO happen on the 27th? He said just read 5 minutes in this chat and you will find what you are looking for. Let me know how much trust in the team do you get after reading. That's what I'm saying. You have all of this going on and people are still like, should I buy cards? It seems like a low price right now. Yeah, go ahead and buy it if you want to. Pretty crazy. C3, Jiro, and Sunday made announcements that they are not associated with cards anymore. They are wanting to put as much distance as they can from them. Says a lot, yet still waiting for this announcement from cards. That's interesting too. Just read 5 minutes in. Oh, okay. Seems very negative, but don't know the history of CSWAP. Seems very negative. These are the people that got, man. He read through everything that happened today, which was a freaking bloodbath, and he says that it seems very negative. And he's still talking about this freaking cards that he bought and asking when an unlock from a recent IDO happens. There's a lot of FUD saying C3 and Jiro are the same as Cardstarter. They are separate teams. This is why the announcements from C3 and Jiro. It's not to gain distance from Cardstarter. It's to ensure they are not a part of this drama between Cardstarter and Sunday. Exactly. And I don't understand why Sunday keeps being brought up. Sunday does not have control of your liquidity. They don't. This is just a Cardstarter issue. They're the ones that's not talking to you. They're the ones telling you to wait for an announcement. And then the announcement is to wait for another announcement. And I think this is the third time they've done this in the last 2 days. The partnership only has to do with marketing and promotion. That's it. SundaySwap never said anything about having anything to do with CSWAP. Cards team made the community speculate about this SS token exchange. The problem for most legitimate CardSwap holders is the ratio of the rewards and incentive for mining, holding, or LP. It sucks and only makes sense. Is the card token was trading at say 40 to 50, which is not and probably never will. Cards team did not deliver, built hype, asked for money, and hid behind ridiculous NDA veil. Fix the ratio based on current market conditions and complete the migration situation. That seems legit. Right now, feels like all hope is lost if we depend on SundaySwap upholding the original deal. What deal? What deal? You're making things up in your own head. But it seems the minute SS launched ahead without Cardstarter being ready, something broke off. I always said cards lost focus by pursuing other endeavors. Why was the bridges not ready on time? That was my question. That's the whole reason why I was even in the Cardstarter chat, was because I wanted to know about the bridge. And they told me basically to go hang out in the announcement channel. And I got mad. Why was the bridges not ready on time? Cardstarter dropped the ball, and now we, CSWAP miners, will pay the price. Yeah, you were paying the price when you first started mining a worthless token. The partnership only has to do with marketing. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. I can tell that it is on our Sunday Swap's best interest to take care of CSWAP miners, and we will do so. CEO of Sunday Swap. It will for sure, and I want to work with our devs on reasonable timelines and announce those Monday or Tuesday. It will constitute a window to allow people to update their addresses followed by a distribution date. So this money is locked. The C3 in the Giro contract is locked. They can't touch it. They have to release it. That's what I got from the other project chats on Twitter. And that was the only thing that I was concerned about. Was the liquidity going to be moved? And they said it was. They're waiting on M Labs. Thanks for asking this, and sorry if these types of questions get buried, as they are important and I don't want the prominent topics to bury these questions. Yeah. Guys, if you're asking about this about the content of the deal, they can't just share the details. Who is this dude? If they did share it, this could F it up for card swap holders. They're already effed up. They're already effed up, bro. Well, this is crazy. Oh, the saga continues, I guess, because we're waiting for another message. They're supposedly talking to Sunday Swap about what the heck's going on. Sunday Swap is guilty. They said multiple times on the AMA this is a merger, but they didn't though. They didn't say that. We were not two separate entities. That does not sound like a marketing deal. They are just as guilty. Well, they literally aren't though. All the projects that they had partnerships with went fine. The only one that didn't was Cardstarter. And the Cardstarter people aren't telling you anything. But you somehow fixated on Sunday Swap for some reason. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But this is what I care about. I want them to get the liquidity that they have locked for the projects that are legitimate unlocked and onto Cardano, and so that I can leave this channel and never return. That's what I need to happen. That's what I want to happen. That's it. That is it. So I'm going to get ready and hop off. This is just nuts, people. And we're not even over. Like, this is day 2. This could go on for weeks, months. Who knows? We just got to wait. We got to see what's going on with M Labs. Sunday Swap CEO in an AMA. Ooh, let's go check it out. Hopefully he's talking about... This is Mateen, right? Mateen. Oh, I'm following him. Where's he in an AMA at? Oh, he is in the AMA. Okay, I thought he was on an AMA. Sunday Swap did play a part. CO. But what went wrong with Cardstarter though? If they are legitimately what they're saying they are, why didn't any of this stuff happen with World Mobile? Why didn't it happen with Liquid? Why didn't it happen with all the other pairings? Yeah, it's like everybody's blaming Sunday because, again, Sunday's the big dog in the room now. And they've worked with Charles, so they think that they have leverage. This is just an emotion. This is just them grabbing at every branch that they can see on the way down to land on their backs. Yeah, I saw that a guy said that he lost 400,000 and ended up doing something and he minimized it to 320,000. Why in the hell would a person put $400,000 in a Cardstarter? You passed Bitcoin, you passed Ethereum, you passed Binance, you passed Cardano, you passed XRP, you passed Matic, you passed Dogecoin, Shiba, you passed you passed AMP, you passed all these tokens to put money in cards in CSWAP, which was worthless. I really want to sit down with this person and ask him why he did that. Why in the world would you do that? And here's another problem. There's a bunch of other launch pads launching on Cardano. So Cardstarter isn't the only launch pad anymore. Clearly, you have no idea what is going on. If you hear an AMA, it is clearly stated that Cardstarter had merged, but it wasn't clearly stated. That's the thing. It was not clearly stated. They literally there was a guy with a sentence that said it's not a merger, and then the next sentence he said it's a merger. That's not clear. And they were talking about multiple projects at the same time in the same sentences. That was confusing. Exactly. It went to 80 and you didn't sell off. And a lot of these people said that they locked their tokens. They locked them. How long did you lock them for? What was the I don't even do staking for longer than 30 days. These people were locking their tokens up for a year, and they were locking up a token that was worth nothing and had no utility. It's just crazy. And even those tokens, you can take out. You can actually unlock them for a penalty on only the rewards, pay the gas, and then sell them. Why didn't they do that? Brandon, can you please expand on this further? This is really important to me to understand. The devs are holding it up. Still no working bridge. Isn't it reasonable to assume the stuff should have been ready from early December when we anticipated Sunday Swap launch initially? Thank you for your reply. I am a supporter and really trying to understand. That's the thing. There's nothing to understand. Did you not see? So this is what I know happened. They need to get the liquidity out of those contracts onto Cardano. M Labs, I ended up finding out that M Labs is the one working on the bridge. Cardstarter won't talk about it. Cardstarter referred me to their announcement channel where there's no information about the bridge. The only reason why we got any information about the bridge out of them today was because Cardstarter and CSWAP is burning down right now. Had this not happened, we would have no information on the bridge. So I started going to the projects that actually had liquidity locked in these contracts. Charlie 3 was the first that talked about it. I talked with him about it, and I have a video up in the news playlist where I'm on a Twitter session with him, and I asked the question, how did you get your token to bridge? Because they're Ethereum, and I thought that they were going to bridge their token with Cardstarter's bridge, like Cardstarter's roadmap says, they were going to bridge over through them and end up on Cardano. But what happened was all of these projects basically broke away from Cardstarter and started coming up with their own solutions to try to get the token bridged. The best way they were able to do it was to go to ADAX. So ADAX worked on something. I don't know how they did it, but they built something that allowed you to deposit your Ethereum token and trade using ADA. And I talked, why would you do this? Because the bridge wasn't ready. So they took it upon themselves to find a solution for their projects and their actual investors, while Cardstarter sits here and doesn't answer anybody's questions. So I take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But it looked like they've been BSing, and the projects, being professional as they are, decided to move forward on their own and give value to their people that are investing in them. And I don't even have Charlie tokens, but I like their CMO. and he is very straightforward and was telling us what was going on. And you have Cardstarter, the people involved in Cardstarter, not saying anything, just talking in circles and asking people to wait so that they can ask them to wait again. And still to this day, haven't cleared up what the hell is up with Sunday Swap, saying that they haven't talked to them since the 19th. And then they're telling their people that they've been talking to them. So who's lying? Is Sunday Swap lying or a Cardstarter lying? CSWAP was a supposedly a decentralized exchange that never happened, never launched. There's screenshots of what it looks like, and it looks really confusing and like nonsense. So I don't know. They should have sold. I would have sold. I don't understand why these people just stuck there. I don't understand why you would provide that much liquidity to a token that was worthless. The token was worthless. And they clearly didn't know how liquidity pool providing worked because they were paired with Ethereum. So if your token rised, it would take your Ethereum away and put it in the token. This is just silly. This is just absolutely silly. And then I've got people tweeting me saying that they took advantage of good people. No, they didn't. Those people were not. I was just like, dude, there's so many red flags. How could you miss all of these red flags? Because they love bombed you. They straight up love bombed you. That's why they ignored all of those red flags. Just like, it's just so frustrating. Like, oh, how could you ignore? How could you listen to this AMA and just ignore what was being said on it?
Has been run through over and over and over. We've run through the numbers over and over and over, and simulations and everything. And that's on both sides. So rest assured, there's nothing to be worried about.
Just to chime in, I mean, I would say, honestly, for a lot of this, please blame the SEC. Write to your congressman, write to your House representatives. I'm partially joking, but I'm also partially serious. Like, I believe transparency is really important in the space. And it's just mind-blowing that regulation that's meant to, like, quote, protect investors and the SEC, if they're actually doing their job, like, why is it that we... I don't know. There are things that I wish...
He said, I don't know. He doesn't... He tells you that the SEC is the reason why he can't do something, but then won't tell you what the thing is that he wants to do.
We could be a lot more open with and transparent with the entire way through, and it's frustrating because it's purely because of remaining SEC compliant, and I suppose there's a reason for that, but I won't go. That could be a whole other AMA.
There hasn't been another AMA, and it doesn't have to be another AMA. What's the point of this AMA? Also, how come no other projects had issues with this? SingularityNet, they did the exact same thing. All of their spinoffs did the exact same thing. AGIX, SDAO, NTX, Rejuvie, they've all had KYC. They all launch padded. They all did airdrops. They had no problems. They were all able to communicate with everyone. They were able to tell you what the token was, what the token supply was, break down all of the tokenomics. They're staying compliant. Why are you telling me that you can't do that because you have to stay compliant?
In and of itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ash. A lot of these questions I'm just looking through right now are pretty much the same as the other ones before them. How do you feel about me inviting some of the folks from the audience?
Let's do that. I think that's far more efficient because that way,
they didn't even have a
folks that have already
plan for
been
this
listening,
AMA.
they've already heard the answers. So if there's a different take or a different spin on existing questions, that'd probably be a better way to answer them.
Awesome. We've had a few people that have been requesting a spot on the stage for a while now. So we'll start with you guys. Anybody else who has a question that they'd like to just ask in person, you can do so. So just hit request. It'll request to bring you on the stage, and then you'll be added to a queue. Just a reminder to everybody, let's keep it as brief as possible so we can get through as many of you guys as possible and get as much information out there efficiently. So basically, jump on stage once it connects. Just mention, what well, I guess usually it's who your question is directed at, but in this case, it'll be Ash. And what the question is, and then Ash, brief response, and then we'll move on. Okay. So we're going to start here with Michael. All right, Michael, and whenever you are connected, feel free to ask your question.
Hi, Ash. It's just, should we just keep mining CSWAP as we have been, and then there'll come a point in time where we exchange that token for another token, or how will that work?
Good question.
Great question. Right now, so the way I have to phrase it, right now mining is still active. It will remain active, and then after ADA mainnet, that it will resume. So these are details I believe that have mentioned before. As far as what kind of limits or caps there are to mining.
Unlimited, I'm sure.
We're really trying to be able to get it timed out so it's seamless into ADA mainnet. But if there is a stopgap in between until ADA mainnet starts, so be it. But we've been able to push it for a while, so
what token
it's worked out well. I would say that the mining will continue, and the mining and the vouchers, we'll say, that are obtained will be able to provide and accrue significant benefit in the future decentralized exchange.
This is crazy.
I think that's the way I'm allowed to word it according to the lawyers. So
this is July. Why didn't these people walk the hell away at this point? You're mining a token that they can't tell you how many of it exists. How many people are doing it? At what percentage? And what you're going to be able to do with the token. But keep mining. Keep providing money. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not trying to, and I didn't want to say that while I was going through the Telegram. I'm just gonna say it because I'm tired, because this is sad. If they want to come out and tell everybody what happened, they should do that and stop hiding behind this. Oh, we have an NDA. Oh, the people. And again, okay, hold on. Velez. They either moved the liquidity to someone's wallet, literally rug pulling, or during the migration, there was a compromise. That's what I believed. I believe that they lost the money, I think. That's what I believe. I believe the money is gone and they're trying to figure out how to get it back. And I think it's weird that they started a new launch pad on Sol. Maybe they put it into that and it got lost somehow. Or I don't know, maybe something didn't pan out the way they thought it was. Maybe they were swinging the liquidity around. And then Tamika just put in the comment, Manny highly misunderstands. It's not just the cards team's promises. Then what is it? And don't sit here and tell me that you were lied to. You're an adult. Mateen CEO was present. We know that. We've talked about Mateen being there. After the AMA, he even says, we have nothing to worry about. If we are CSWAP holders, we will be taken care of. Again, you're a full-grown effing adult taking promises from another person. F that logic. I'm sorry. You can be mad at me. You can downvote the video. You're an idiot. You're an adult. Some of these people have families and kids, and you're sitting here taking... If I just walk up to your door right now and say I have magic rocks that'll be worth $1 million in 10 years, are you going to give me your life savings for it? Because that's literally what you did. They had nothing to show for you. They had nothing to give you. You go to an AMA, they give you no details. They don't even give you the tokenomics of the token that you're pooling for. And now you're crying in January. Makes no sense. You're an idiot. These people have been whining about this situation and trying to blame Sunday so much that it's hitting our communities in Telegram. Someone's just basically whined and melled like it's Cardano's fault. Exactly. That's why I wanted to report on this stuff, get all the facts out there so people can actually look at all of this is what's going on and say, hey, this is what's happening. A bunch of people bought magic beans and now the magic beans aren't worth anything and they're mad at every other freaking project and trying to say that Cardano is going to fail because of it. No, you're going to fail because you're terrible at investing. It's not just the cards team, it's everybody else that's been successful. We assured we'd have a top flight home. That isn't a... So in a world of crypto, in a world of mathematics, in a world of contracts, you took somebody's word for something. In a world of smart contracts. So the money that you gave them was in a contract, was it not? In a smart contract. Why didn't you get a smart contract from them with these promises? You don't need promises when you've got technology. You don't need promises when there's contracts. They've all got contracts. When you give them the money, it's in a contract. It goes to a wallet. What wallet did it go to? Did you check any of that? Are you looking at the Etherscan to see where all the tokens are going? Did you get any of that information before you gave them money? No, you didn't. It's not their fault. It's your fault. You're not going to make me feel sorry for you when you're not using basic sense. When I do a transaction, I did a transaction using my Giro wallet on Sunday Swap. I did one on KuCoin today. And you know what happened every time I did a transaction? I got a hash. And in that hash, you can click on it and you can see what moved and where it moved to. So I can track every single token that left my wallet and came back to it. And you're telling me you didn't get any of that information. You just don't have it. And you gave them your life savings. You've got multiple people in the Telegram telling people they gave them their life savings and got no receipt for it. And I'm supposed to be mad at Sunday Swap because of that. I'm supposed to be mad at Charlie because of that. I'm supposed to be mad at Giro because of that. Or Meld, like somebody said that they're going into the Meld Telegram. It's insane. They're tagging it. They're tagging Charles Hoskins, talking about your blockchain is a scam and it's going to fail because I gave away all my money. Okay.
You will be accruing significant benefit, and this merger ensures that said benefit is greater than it was before. Sorry for the code, but I hope a lot of folks in the audience have a good understanding of what this entails and can kind of have a sense for what that means.
No. This is red flag. This is all red flags. Red flag, red flag.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael, for coming up. Okay. We've got Crypto Canuck.
It's not just the cards team. Give me a break.
Yeah, guys, just keep in mind, we think of all this stuff.
It's not just the cards team. It's you too.
If we didn't have a reason for mining or we didn't want you guys to mine, we'd shut it down. That's not the case. All right.
If we didn't want you guys to mine, we'd shut it down. Why would they shut down an operation where they're getting free money from a bunch of idiots?
Crypto, you're up.
Hi. I'm a big supporter of CSWAP, but I did not get involved with the liquidity mining. And instead, I bought...
This is why I make the videos that I make, because a lot of people say, well, your videos are really layman's. They're really like basic. And there was a guy complaining about how, do you not think your people know how to read? It's not that I don't think they know how to read. It's that they're new to this stuff and they need to understand how it all works so they don't end up like these people.
Bunch of CSWAP on Uniswap. So I just want to know if I'll still be taken care of the same as the liquidity miners.
Oh, sorry. Could you mute? Just I have this weird echo thing. Thank you, my Canadian friend.
Yeah, I bought CSWAP on Uniswap rather than obtaining it through liquidity mining. So
yeah, so sorry. Let me. I'll say the answer. You will definitely be taken care of. I understand that someone very funny out there, I guess almost as a joke, made a liquidity pair of this voucher. And yeah, so it is possible to be able to get it on Uniswap. But yes, you will also be taken care of. Do not worry about that.
Don't worry. You'll be taken care of. Does this sound like something that would happen in a project?
Thank you.
Anywhere? Has anybody, show of hands, hit, I don't know, type in 1 in the chat if you've ever, if you've, no, don't type in yes or no. Have you ever been on a project where in the AMAs and in the Telegram group, they're telling you, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. You're going to make money. You're going to get a benefit. No matter what, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about the tokenomics. We can't tell you that because of the government. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You'll be fine. Yes or no? Has that ever happened to you? Because I've never heard of this before. And I've been involved in a lot of projects. And I didn't invest in all of them. I picked a few. But I've been in a lot of AMAs. Like I said, I was in Charlie's. I have no intentions of investing in Charlie. But I go in the AMAs to learn and see what's going on and see how projects are and to see the people involved into them. I've never, ever been in an AMA where the people on the project were talking like this or saying these things to people.
All right. Next, we've got Farzin. All right, man. Whenever you're ready.
Hello?
Yep, you're on.
Oh, yes. Hi. My question is Farzin Fazeli. My question is, when I've been mining from like day one and also was looking at Sunday Swap. And from what I read was that their equivalent value was the number of about 8 cents per Sunday swap, equivalent to whatever you would get through staking through ADA, and ours, the CSWAP, is about 1 cent. So I'm wondering, is that in play? Like, are you guys gonna make us like give 8 CSWAPs to get 1 Sunday swap, or is it gonna be something more beneficial, or does that even come into play going forward?
Yes, that is a great question. Now, before I answer this, legally, I can't talk officially about price and what prices have been, quote.
No, we understand that you can't talk about price, but can you please tell us how many tokens there are?
Mentioned by either entity. But what I can tell you is that any benefit that is occurring in the future.
Why does he keep saying the word benefit? Does he not know that the word benefit has a definition and it's not negative? So if you have a token, a publicly traded token that's traded, it can go up and it can go down. Depending on when you buy it, you can get a positive gain or a negative, a loss. If you get a loss, that is not a benefit. So why does he keep saying benefit?
Especially when you're trying to accrue any benefit on the future decentralized exchange. The folks that have been diligently mining away and providing liquidity will be excited, if not surprised, at
they'll be surprised
the benefit relative to what was expected, if that makes sense.
He didn't lie there. They were really surprised.
So I guess in summary, based off of your understanding and your understanding and your hypothesis, folks that are in your position would probably be pleasantly surprised with the significance of the benefit that they accrue in the future.
So right there, he said that they are going to get a benefit in the future, which means a gain, a positive, happy, good, So prices go up, but not down. So how can he ensure that the price won't go down? Oh, wait, he couldn't. Ash is such a dweeb.
Fantastic. Well, you've been prepared well on what you can say, what you can't say. A quick follow-up question.
They just accepted these as answers.
Well, I just lost my train of thought.
This is insane.
If once the maintenance launches, so are we going to be swapping on an ERC 720 converter RC swaps into I guess Sunday swap? Is that how you guys see it?
So any conversions that do happen in any way or form is obviously something that we discuss through a quote cards bridge. So obviously even cards tokens have to go onto ADA. So we're talking about any tokens that are going on to ADA, we utilize our cards bridge. And obviously IOHK has something similar, and they have the CF bridge also, but we have our own bridge that we'll be helping do this with. So if, such a thing occurs, then naturally we would be using the cards bridge is the best way to answer that. Yeah.
Got it. And then legally, when do you think you can tell us as far as like the actual value of what, card swap will?
Yes, so that's a brilliant question, and so if you actually go through the legal aspects of this, so it's easier to be able to talk about the legal aspects of it itself as opposed to talking about it. So if you actually think about how Uniswap was able to get around this and why they're so SEC compliant, it has to do with the fact that they put out a product first, and then they actually put out aspects of quote ownership or benefit or equity. They put it out after, so they had a working product for a while.
And Uniswap goes up and down, so they don't just have a benefit; they have a token. You buy it, it may go up. It may go down. Right now it's down. So how is it a benefit?
And then they were able to show, why this exists, and everything came after. In fact, they actually did it in sort of a nice airdrop fashion. So everyone, like myself, we remember exactly how, what Uniswap did. And that was, for some reason, we're still looking at it to this day, but made the SEC very happy. And so a lot of folks try to mimic a similar model. And so what I will say is very simple. A lot of information can be derived retrospectively after the project is live. So we can think about, a product like this, a great decentralized exchange launching on ADA mainnet, and then pretty much right after, one can probably try to see if there's any benefit there, and then retrospectively the value can be evaluated and details can be given.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Farzin.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Rhyme and Reason on the stage. Whenever you're connected and ready, you can go ahead and ask your question.
My question is two parts. So I've been waiting to get involved in Sunday Swap. Now is it safe to say that the way to do that is through staking with CSWAP?
Why?
And then the second part to that.
Hold on. What? He said he wanted to get involved, and the way to do this was staking with CSWAP. Dude, you could just buy cards on Uniswap. Why the hell would you stake in a pool where there's impermanent loss? These people are either plants or they are vegetables as far as brain power goes.
That would be, is there a snapshot to where those who have already mined will have more of a benefit when things switch over than those who may start to do the mining now?
Absolutely not. You start now. The returns earlier on were slightly, it's not slightly, they were larger because of bootstrapping reasons, but right now it's an even playing field. So anyone starting today, the building that you are providing and the natural rewards or the benefit that one would accrue is going to naturally be the same. It's not as though folks that were earlier get additional more benefit. They've just had more time, which is obviously makes sense. They've spent more time, so whatever they've done in the past, that's just going to be there. But again, it's not as though moving forward they're going to get some massive benefit over anyone starting now. That being said, yes, this exists now for the folks that are interested in Sunday. Doesn't mean that any other avenues that Sunday has talked about in the past or will talk about in the future are closed. So I cannot confirm nor deny that. But what I can say is that this avenue currently does exist. And we do know that that community, anyone contributing to that building of that decentralized exchange, will be taken care of.
Thank you.
Will be taken care of.
All right. Thanks, Rhyme. And next up we have Kashav. All right. Once you're connected, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Ash. The question I have is, can you comment on the proposed utility of the merged SundaySwap / Cardswap token and compare it to what was envisioned for the Cardswap?
Yes, I cannot comment on on any sort of token word. I can only comment on any sort of perceived future benefit. What I can comment on there is that the actual benefits that are derived from this,
why does he keep
not
saying
only
benefit?
are they being utilized in a far superior platform, both from a technological standpoint, as well as a community standpoint, as well as a liquidity standpoint, but there are some novel aspects that both groups are bringing together to this voucher and this aspect of accruing benefit in the future. So what I can say is that it is there are some benefits that are going to be improved upon than what was previously imagined. But of course, the first imagining of this was a long time ago. So to emphasize this has actually been in the works for so long, it feels like this has been basically what most people have been working towards, whether they knew it or not, which sounds kind of silly now that I say it out loud, but this has been going on for so long that it's basically been what the goals have been since the beginning. And main reason why we've been so under wraps. But anyway,
they're literally making
there are
up.
additional benefits than what was expected in the beginning.
Benefits. There goes that word again. So somebody said, Solar Flare said, where are people getting the information that their mining will translate into SundaySwap? Nothing has ever been said that their mining will transfer into SundaySwap. Exactly. Literally, the community made that up and just started running with it. And I did a video before that there's a post on the Cardstarter. I think it's the Cardstarter Reddit where someone posted, it just was a random person posted that they were going to get these rewards and posted like a whole, imagined, he posted a whole like basically like what they were going to be able to swap their CSWAP for and at what rate. Totally made it all up, and it was like a super popular post. That's where I believe it started from. People in the community saying that.
Okay, thanks. To be specific, my question was related to what would be the utility of buying or holding like a governance token. Is it any different from holding a Uniswap token? Like, why would it create a demand in the marketplace once it launches?
Yeah.
Great question. So,
Eric, SundaySwap has always been on the record that they would not release Sunday until they had a working product. Yes, because that aligns with SEC regulations. You can't sell a token without a product. You can't do what these people just did. They keep talking about how they want to be compliant with regulations. They want to be compliant. They want to be compliant. The one thing you know about compliance, if you're in crypto, even if you're an idiot, is the SEC does not like when you sell a token or a coin without a product. You can't sell a useless token. And this is what they did. They sold people on a token that had no utility, and they screamed that they were being compliant. They're being compliant. They're being compliant. They're not being compliant. They're selling a token. They're reassuring people that it's going to be a benefit, and the token doesn't do anything. And look how it turned out.
Beyond governance alone, one of the other things that comes up with this is related to fees. It relates to, so governance is such an obvious thing to say, but when it comes to a decentralized exchange, governance actually has a huge role to play. So I don't want to downplay how important governance is in any sort of DeFi or in any sort of DeFi ecosystem or in a DEX. But beyond that, there are significant benefits to being able to accrue fees. So that's something that Uniswap has talked about in the past. And when we talk about, fee accrual, that was something that was initially discussed with any sort of token use, similar to what other tokens have been, mentioned in the past, and what, these decentralized exchanges have modeled themselves after. So if I were to say, there is an improvement in fee accrual and an improvement that is allowed because of a merger, then that benefit in the collection of fees when providing liquidity on this future decentralized exchange is larger. That would be one of the benefits.
Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Keshav. Thanks for your question. Okay, and then we've got Jose. Once you're connected, you can go ahead and ask your question, man. Which should be now.
I'm kind of jealous. Everyone has all these nice pictures, and I'm just a blank face.
No. You've got Shuffle.
Did you see Farzan? Farzan's going to take us on vacation in his picture.
Jose, are you there?
Now they got jokes.
Okay.
Is this Chamo the Rat?
Oh,
Chamo 1?
We're at what, 40?
Sorry?
Let's end it here. We'll jump
is it
on
Jose
here
Gonzalez
tomorrow.
that you're asking?
We'll jump on here tomorrow and listen to the rest of this. We're at like 40. This is going on super long. I don't want to keep everybody up all night. But yeah, go ahead and hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. We'll jump on tomorrow and we'll listen to the rest of it and see if we get some kind of announcement or something from that project. I'll keep at it. I'll be monitoring the chat and stuff until we get back up. But yeah, I don't want to keep you guys here all night like we did like the last times I went live. I think we went to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's give them some time to come up with something else. See if they can confirm that they've even been in a conversation with Sunday, because Sunday's saying one thing and they're saying another. I got people tweeting me. I got a lot of people that got wrecked, mad at me for some reason.